problem, for example. This was the example that I used. But in 2016, Neil Hartson, which is like the first cyborg, officially recognized cyborg by a government, he came to, like, we invited him to do a Mesa, and what he wanted to do was a hardware for his teeth. Neil is amazing. I'll just do a little parenthesis here, because first time I saw, someone on my team said we should invite Neil to run a Mesa, and I was like, oh my God, no, this is too much for me. He's got an antenna on his brain. He's completely colorblind, so he can feel colors. He developed this technology so he can feel colors. He doesn't even see colors, he feels colors. And it felt to me so, it's too much, you know, like when you hear Jason speak and you're like, no, this is a bit too much. It felt like that. And but then I thought, man, this is a guy who's thinking of the impacts of technology, the ethics of using technology, by testing on himself. So it really, that sold it to me. And it's really amazing, because what he's talking about is that we think it's very weird that he's got an antenna on his head, but we think it's very okay to put down a whole forest and put concrete and make a road and put up electricity poles, and we think that's fine. And so his whole point is, if we only have the right to put technology on ourselves, and we do it through nature. And then he says that if we, instead of inventing electricity and having electricity all around, if we had developed ways of seeing in the dark, we would be humanity that lives, coexists with the sky. And that would be so much better. So I'm totally sold to his ideas now. But he wanted to do a hardware for his teeth where he could communicate with his partner without having to speak. So basically he was trying to figure out telepathy, right? Like how to communicate without people seeing. And so we had to find a dentist. Marcelo's being like, we prototyped this hardware for their teeth. And this guy, who is a dentist, is a huge fan of the Mesa method now. So I think Neil had a huge impact on me, because it was the first, when that Mesa happened, I really felt that we can use the method for any problem. I really felt that what we were doing was actually reinventing the way people work. And this is what I'm going to talk about to you guys now. The beliefs and the lessons we've learned about what is it that we're doing wrong when it comes to work, and what is it that we can do right. So I'm going to show this little video first. I mean, it's really ridiculous, right? Like, I think no one thinks, you look at that and you think, so gimmick. But at the same time, a lot of times that huge companies are trying to make work fun, this is the kind of things that they are doing. They're putting ping pong tables, or giving you free food, or creating this environment or this setting which is supposed to be fun. But for us at Mesa, we already think that work is one of the greatest things in the world. Work is where you get to learn things. Work is where you get to try out things. Work is where you get to meet people who are as passionate and as talented as you in that territory, in that field. So for us, the whole idea of inventing artifices to work is very foreign. But it has to do with the fact that we think that to work is to create. And more, as the world and technology evolves and that machines will take over, because of course they have to take over boring tasks that you don't really need a human to do. And more, work is going to be this space where you have to create. I like showing this example. You're not able to read it, and it's on purpose. But this was one brief. So Google, we usually I'll just go back here so you guys don't read, but we usually work on challenges for which there is no regular partner out there, right? So for at least the first phases when we usually do with a client, it's not something that they could give their ad agency, for example, to do. So it's like a problem for which there isn't much of a benchmark, and you really have to create something. But then there was this one time that my Lauren, who works at Google, she called me and said, I want us to do a campaign in a Mesa. I was like, we don't do campaigns. It was, for me, it was a bit weird because the whole idea of like coming up with an idea is different from solving a problem. But she talked me into it. She said she was sure it was going to be, even though if I felt it wasn't like the perfect Mesa, she felt it would be a better process than what she had. And then she gave me this, and I was like, no way. And she said, oh, we have to give this to people on day one. I was like, there's no way. You want people to start working. You want the best. Like, you want people's passion. You want their ability to create stuff. And this is how you want to start. It's the most boring piece of paper, like 3 pages. And also, there is a weird thing here, because there is a fallacy that you can put. When you brief someone like that, you pretend you're putting everything you know on a piece of paper. And it's impossible to put everything you know on a piece of paper. So what we do at Mesa is transform any kind of brief into like a small piece of paper, maximum 4 paragraphs. You guys can read that. Maximum 4 paragraphs. There can't be any jargons, we really fight for it to be written in a way that my grandmother would be able to read. Because a lot of times companies are also kind of hiding stuff that they don't really know. And people talk for months inside the company using the same jargon, and then all of a sudden they realize they don't really know what it means. I'll give you guys a practical example. We were doing this Mesa, and there was we were saying, oh, this needs to be going on, got the expression now, but it was something that could both mean that you were live for 24 hours a day, or it could mean that it could be very extended throughout time. And then I had these 2 clients, and they both used the same expression, but they were saying the opposite thing, right? And so that's the reason we try to take jargons out of our missions. And what we feel is when you give people this ritual of giving people a mission, which is super important to us, also makes people connect to that thing. And a lot of times when we're doing a Mesa, when we're working in this 5 days setting, you work a lot, right? We work until 2 a.m. a lot of times. But it's interesting how people don't feel like they're working too much or that they're working too little. And what I've learned is that when you connect to what you have to deliver, when you're connected to your mission, there is no such a thing as working too much or working too little. There is working enough so you see that thing come to life. And when you give people a mission, that happens. But the only reason why we can give them 4 paragraphs with just the vision of where we have to get is because we have every piece of knowledge and every skill sitting around the same table. And I'm not going to stress that enough because I think it's so obvious, right? I think any one of you guys would say, of course, you've got to have every piece of skill and every piece of knowledge and skill. But the amount of times that I have to fight to get every piece of knowledge, because, for example, we recently did a Mesa for, there was a marketing challenge, came from the marketing department, and we said, it was a shampoo brand. I said, cool, we need the chemistry, we need the engineering, engineering, who makes this shampoo. And they were like, no, you don't need them. No, it's too many days to take them out of the factory. We know all the answers, but of course you don't. And when you bring that person to the table, what they know and what everyone learns, and you manage to create communication that is actually much better because the girl from the factory, she had way better claims, better for the product even, than the marketing team could ever think of. So this is crucial, and I think, of course, we've been doing this for a long time, and I think we've developed this science of how to break a problem into pillars of knowledge and skills. It's something if you practice, you get better at. But I think there's one tip here, which is always look at the problem itself. Like people sometimes feel that they have to solve, they don't look at the problem and they think, I have to solve this with the people around me. And it's the opposite. The boss is the mission. The boss is always the thing you have to solve. And once you start looking at the thing you have to solve, naturally it will help you understand the team that you need. Now, we are, for sure, one of the most collaborative process that you ever see, right? Like we've got this bunch of people working together, delivering, and every one of them is extremely necessary. So if there is no collaboration, we wouldn't deliver what we deliver. But we never ever use the word collaboration. If you go to a website, you're never going to read it, and you will never use it. And I was earlier explaining it, I was talking to Keisha earlier, and I told her, I just remembered how this came to be. So basically, we were working at our office, which is usually my house at this time, and this girl, Mari, works with us. She gets the phone and she calls someone, and she says, okay, I want to invite you for this collaborative process. And right now, right then, I said, no way, like you can't. There was something, and I'll say more about this later, but there was something right there at the moment that I knew that if you call someone and ask them to come for a collaborative process, you give them nothing. Like, you don't give them any responsibility. They don't really know why they're coming. And our feeling is that when the invitation is this, people tend to get to a middle ground. They don't really know why they're there. They don't really know what's the territory that they have to defend. So at Mesa, what we do when we call someone to invite for a Mesa, and this is like probably the biggest amount of time that we spend is understanding exactly why I need that person and telling her or him what is the pillar that she's going to be holding. And once you do it, that person comes, and there is no way they will leave without delivering excellence in that pillar. And that's when real collaboration happens. When everyone knows exactly what they have to do, what they have to deliver, what they are great at, and then they just work. And it's just work. And it's amazing how I see over and over again. I get invitations to do a lot of collaborative things. Sometimes I'll go, and it's, even if I'm trying to say, no, let's push it to excellency, it's different if the invitation is about just doing something rather than giving me the exact reason why I'm there. And this has to do with like one of our most greatest beliefs, which is it's our mission to unlock people's talent. It's interesting that I'm not sure this is clear, we don't fish talent from a pool that we have. I'm a journalist, my background, I don't think this would exist that way if I wasn't. Because what we do is we look at a problem, and then we find someone anywhere in the world that is really great for that specific pillar. That's how we do it. So there's a lot of research. We do a lot of finding people, talking to someone who might know someone. And when we send emails to people in Japan, people who have never heard of us, but the fact that we give them, and this is the phone call, the most important phone call for us. The moment I call someone and I explain why I need him or her, and when we do it really well, when I tell a person exactly why I think they're so great for that Mesa, there's a level of, it's a weird thing, because you give this person something, and she's responsible for it. And people rarely say no. They feel committed. If you tell someone exactly why they're very good, what they're doing really right in the world when it comes to work, they're going to commit. They will feel, it's true, I'm very good at this specific task, and they will understand. Part of them will think, of their brain will think, if I'm not there, this is going to be worse. And people don't want things to be worse. In fact, people are committed to doing great things if you give them the opportunity. For us, this is vital. Unlocking people's potential and talent is what we, like, as in terms of a purpose, this is what we look at. There are two numbers as a company that we look at. So the amount of profit that we make has to be the same as the amount of money we deliver to talent in the world. So this is so crucial to us. That's how crucial it is. And then there is something else that allows for us to do these things in 5 days, things that people feel sometimes that it's impossible. I didn't bring this example here, but we recently did a Mesa where at the 5th day we had a whole gym place, like it was a client of ours who operates different categories of gyms in Brazil. And then we created the new category, we did, like, wrote down all the exercises, we filmed all the exercises, we built the whole place. So when the person walked in, it was there, it was a gym. So that's the amount of prototype and execution that we do. And that has to do with the fact that we take really care of our rituals. Because people respect rituals, people do not respect rules. This morning I was listening to Adrian's amazing talk, and he talks about the difference between rules and values. And for us, what really makes a difference, and made a difference as we built Mesa, was focusing on the rituals. This is a very bad quality photo, sorry about that. Mesas means tables in Portuguese. And the reason why we do what we do around the table is because we feel tables are the perfect combination between pleasure, so it's this space where you have drinks and food with family and friends and share conversations, but also of work. It's a place where you sign contracts, where you make decisions. So this balance of pleasure and commitment is crucial to what we do, and we believe it's crucial to work. It has to be, when I say you can't start work, you can ask people to start working using a brief, has to do with the fact that it feels very boring, and people want to do adventurous things. They don't want to do boring things, they want to do adventurous things. So for us, instead of creating a lot of rules, instead of saying this is like that, this is like that. I mean, for years we said the only method that we had was that chart with 3 variables. So instead of creating this, we started creating very strong rituals. And here I'm going to show you, I stole a few slides from a presentation from my experience team. So we have a team that just takes care of the experience around Mesa, which I think is really brilliant because the way they look at it is that, this is important, sorry. That's it. Rituals, they allow for the change of context. And when you change context, people change behavior without you having to tell them, to give them a lot of rules. This is like, core to what we do. And that's it. Like, Isabella Martini, my team, she's got a whole presentation on how she wants people to feel during a Mesa. And she knows that the way they feel is not only as important as a result, it's actually what drives result. It's what guarantees result. So it's this kind of thing, it's like, I'm one of the chosen ones. I'm special, I'm lucky. Every single invitation that we make is very specific. Everything here was taken care of. Everything was thought for a reason. There is an intention in everything. When you are treated with that kind of care, the amount of care that you give back to the environment is amazing. This is somehow very seductive. Everyone I met here is amazing. I'm scared to death, but it feels good. I mean, we're talking about challenges, like how do you help Natura move their commercial model? It's like a 50-year-old company, now that we've done it, it feels like, okay, you can do it, but at day 3 at a Mesa, you feel like you're super screwed. It's surprising. I've never thought about working like this before. I work a lot, but it's a lot of fun as well. The work here is taken very seriously. I never had an experience like this before joining Simon. And then the way she wants people to feel every single day. I think, this for us, and I think for as you take, ideas into your daily work, to be able to understand that people are driven by the way they feel, by the sensations that they are having, and not by the rules you're trying to impose on them, might change everything on your work environment. Then there is this other belief. So for a while, we used to say, when we talked about Mesa, we would say, a brilliant mind at the head of the table. And one day someone asked me at a conference like this, they asked, what if the people that I know and I have to work with are not brilliant? And I stopped using the word brilliant that day because there is this, when you say brilliant, there is this idea that that person was born with that brilliancy. And it's not what I see at Mesas. So we've done 132 Mesas, and what we see is that real talent comes from people who have three things. They learn fast, and that comes from them not pretending that they have the answer. There is one thing that in normal work environments, someone gives you a call on your desk, and then they ask you a question, and you feel a pressure to give an answer. You feel a pressure to know the answer. Sometimes you don't. But instead of saying, I don't know, let's find it out, and then open yourself to learning, people tend to give any answer that they can think of. And that's a mistake. I see over and over again when we're doing Mesas that the people who ask more questions on day one, the people who really open themselves to learning, are the ones who are going to deliver more at the end. The second one is super important, presence. Presence is going to be the standout quality more and more for people who are going to deliver and high perform. We take away cell phones at a Mesa. There was once I was leading a Mesa, and this woman said, I can't take my cell phone, I'm not going to put my cell phone away. And I said, so I won't open the day. And she said, but I need to do something. I said, it's fine, but if you need to do that thing, then you can't do this thing. And this is really true for complex problems. There is only one way that you really solve complex challenges, is if you're present, learning from everyone, and thinking and focusing on that one thing. So I said, you can either do this or that, but it's impossible for you to do the two things. And again, it's not something that people are born with, it's something people practice and learn. And the ability to move forward. Most of the times, all of the times, no one hires us for an easy Mesa. So most of the times when I'm leading a Mesa, I am in front of a problem that I have no idea of how to solve. So it's a very vulnerable place to be at the head of the table, which is great because vulnerability is one of the things you have to be practicing in a world that is going to change more and more. There's not going to be like a safety net for you to just fall onto. But a good leader, like a good professional, and it's interesting because a lot of times I'm talking about the participants of Mesas that I lead, right? And I see how they perform, and people are going to deliver a lot. But these are the same. Being a leader, it's a position that you may have now, and tomorrow you might be a participant, you might be part of a group that is solving something. So it's a mindset, right? If the people who I see that deliver a lot are the ones that, in that situation, when they feel very vulnerable, they move forward instead of moving backwards. And you're not going to know every answer that you need. You can do all the research in the world, and it's not going to, research, they can prove either way, depending where it's hard to take out the human bias, and even data, the way we read data. The thing is, you've got to, and Anne spoke about it beautifully earlier in her talk, there's an instinct, there is a belief that, something you have to trust and move forward. And sometimes, when you move forward, you realize you made a mistake.